Hello everyone, my name is Zach. I am the Traveling Man, and today I come to you from Port Everglades, where I've just boarded my first cruise of 2025. And today we're on board the Celebrity Silhouette, my first time on this ship, and we're going to take a 3-day cruise, a quick weekend cruise. We're going to be visiting Key West and Bimini, Bahamas. So come on if you're ready, let's get this adventure started. All right, so here we are late. It's currently 2:15 and they closed boarding completely at 2:30. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but excited to be here. I've never been in this terminal before. This is Terminal 29 here in Port Everglades. Usually Cruise Terminal 25 is the one that Celebrity uses, but Celebrity Beyond is there today. And all the other cruise terminals that Celebrity uses as alternatives to 25 are in use by Royal Caribbean. Of course, the parent group, or sister group rather, of Celebrity Cruises. So haven't even had time to gather myself yet. Don't even know really where I'm going. Other than that, we're going to the ship. So so excited to board the Celebrity Silhouette. Here we go. One of the last guests to board today, actually. There were very few people behind me as they were closing the doors behind me as I came in, or getting ready to at least. So very late arrival. We're so glad to be making it on board Celebrity Silhouette for the very first time, completing the series for me, the Solstice Class ships. This is it. This is the 5th of 5 for me. So welcome officially on board Celebrity Silhouette here in Fort Lauderdale. So entering here on deck 5, as you normally do. We need to go to our muster station though. I don't want them to be calling me out as being a guest who hasn't done that, but we'll take a brief look here in the main atrium. Very busy already at 2:25 now on embarkation day. See here in the atrium, you got 3 levels of excitement right here, the heart of the ship. You got a dance floor down there on deck 3, and then on deck 4 you have craft social, and the martini bar is right under us. We'll see that later. And then across the way there, all the folks over there gathered at Cafe Al Bacho. I'm gonna cross through the World Class bar here to get over here to the other side of deck 5, because we're gonna go all the way forward to the Silhouette Theater, the main theater here on board the ship. It's all the way forward on decks 4 and 5, but our muster station is gonna be on deck 5. We're flanked by shops, the different shops here, celebrity shops. And here we go, a departure from the other Solstice series ships. The theater here isn't called the Silhouette Theater. Usually on the other Solstice Class, it's, you know, the Reflection Theater, the Solstice Theater. It's just called the theater here on board the Silhouette. But regardless, we got to do our muster drill. So I'm gonna take care of that real quick, and we'll talk about it right after. And literally like a minute later after going in there, we are done. We have our muster drill completed. It's that easy. So we can officially say that we're officially on our cruise, the very first cruise of 2025. I want to thank you for adventuring with me for another year. A lot of you coming back video after video. If you're new to my channel though, I encourage you to go and subscribe down below, because we have a lot of adventures to come from this cruise, certainly, but a lot of exciting cruises to come that I can't wait to tell you about in 2025. You're just going to have to wait and see where all we venture this year, because we have a lot of places to go and a lot of the world to see, I'll say that. But we're starting it all off here on board Celebrity Silhouette, a 3-day cruise starting here today in Port Everglades. We're gonna be visiting Key West and Bimini, Bahamas. And I picked this cruise specifically for this, well, I wanted to sell Silhouette, but I picked this cruise specifically for the itinerary, because they have, Silhouette's been doing 3 and 4-day cruises all winter long. Haven't been to Key West in over 10 years, so really excited to get back there. And I also love Bimini. Have been there a couple times now. So I thought this would be a perfect weekend cruise, a perfect itinerary for that. So I specifically chose this one. I don't know that they do this one a lot, the Key West and Bimini. So that's why I chose it. So I can't wait to get back to both of those places. And like I said, on the Silhouette, a new ship to me. Now, I am boarding much later than I normally would. I do usually like to be here first. So the clip that I'm putting in here of me arriving, or you seeing outside of the terminal, that was just a few minutes ago, me arriving at about 2:10, 2:15. The check-in process was so quick, was so easy, because I was so late. There probably wasn't more than 30 people there that were just the stragglers of the day, you know, getting here at the last minute, because 2:30 was the very last time for you to arrive. That's like when the gangway was going to be closed today. I had some issues with a flight. I know a lot of you watching my channel right now, you've made comments to me before like, Zach, why do you fly places on the morning of your cruise. Never fly on the same day as your cruise. That's very risky, and it is, which was proven to me today because I came within 15 minutes of missing my flight, and that was all the hustle I had to get here on time. But some flight delays, there were some maintenance issues with the plane I was flying in on this morning. That delayed me, but had that plane taken off 16 minutes later, I wouldn't have gotten to the ship in time. So that's a cautionary tale of the day for you, is to always fly in the night before. And this is going to be a do as I say, not as I do type situation, because you're going to see me do that a lot, because I do. But I feel like I'm agile, you know, I'm an experienced traveler. One day it's going to burn me, I know. But because I don't have a family that I'm traveling with and it's just me, usually I find I can, you know, get on another flight or rebook and fly to another city nearby if I need to. And actually that was the case today, because there were some flights to Miami that I could have gotten on and actually made it probably even earlier than what I did. But I chose to stay on my original flight and just make it late. So long story short, it's been a morning. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I thought I would be boarding the ship at 11 o'clock this morning because I did have premium access. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a little bit, tell you about the premium access experience. But I thought I'd be boarding like one of the first people, and instead I was one of the last people. So this is my caution for you. Make sure you're flying in and arriving at the port the night before you're going to cruise, because you don't want to end up like me and being in a hurry and we missed like, well, 3 hours of, well, 3.5 hours, 4 hours by the time we get settled and everything of your cruise the very first day, especially on these short cruises. I feel like every minute counts, you know, you got to make the most of every minute. So yeah, don't be like me, fly in, get here as early as you can. So that's my cautionary tale of the day. But I'm going to stop talking now, not completely, but I'm going to stop doing this this selfie mode and flip back around here and show you some of the ship. One of the first things we're going to see is the stateroom that we have. I'm actually up on the 9th deck. I think in the 9th deck forward. So we're going to proceed there right now and show you what room I'm going to have for this 3-day sailing on Silhouette. And I should mention that I've been on deck 5 here. This is the promenade just outside of the theater. So I showed you where my muster station was. I came just outside that. Here on deck 5 there's a promenade deck out here where the lifeboats are, but it's a great place to come. I'm probably going to be here a lot because I have an inside cabin. And it's a nice little place to come here off the side of the ship that usually there aren't too many people out here, but there are chairs and loungers out here where you can come and hang out. So let's go back inside though and take the elevator up to the 9th deck and check out our stateroom. Okay, here we are, deck 9. We gotta go to a 9172. All right, so here we are at the room now. All right, let's go in and check it out. I was out here meeting my neighbors and being social for a minute. Here we go, 9172. This is an inside stateroom, of course, here on the Celebrity Silhouette. Getting a stale odor first thing. Woo, we're gonna turn the air down in hopes that clears out. It smells really stale and kind of musty in here though. But yeah, this is the cool thing about I think all of the staterooms on board the Silhouette is they've all been, because this ship has been revolutionized, which is Celebrity's way of saying updated. One of my main complaints about the staterooms on board the other Solstice Class ships, or a lot of them at least, not all the staterooms are updated, and they have, you know, old looking carpet. The couches that you see over there, they're all run down. So I think this should be a lot better of a stateroom. It looks better. The carpet looks newer. It's not that gaudy red carpet, maroon carpet that they have on other ships. You can see the sofa over here. They've actually reupholstered these, and they're leather now. So it's not the cloth before that got all gross or whatever. So yeah, that's the couch situation. That's the decor situation. That's why it looks a little different than some of the other staterooms on other ships. This is the bathroom, of course. And this is the standard bathroom that you're going to get on any cabin, on any Solstice Class ship. They're going to look just like this. Unless you're in a retreat suite or something like that, your stateroom is most likely going to look like this. Your bathroom in your stateroom, I should say. It's going to look like this. And there are included some shampoo, some conditioner, and shower gel. So that's one less thing that you have to pack, which is always great, because packing toiletries is a headache for me because I carry on everything. So figuring out what I can and can't put in my little quart-size bag is sometimes frustrating. There's some lotion in here. There's some Kleenex. Of course, your hand towels and all of your towels, you see all the towels hanging over here, are included. As always, there's also some bar soap included here as well. So that's the bathroom. And then the room, like we saw, it looks nice. The only thing it's missing is a balcony, but that's okay. We're trying to cruise cheaper and be smarter with our money in 2025, right? That's one of our goals. So you're going to see me in a lot more interior staterooms this year. So stand by and wait for that. But yeah, this is the room. This is, of course, the standard cruise ship bed. There is plenty of storage, though. Of course, you have the storage units up here above the bed. There's also some towels that they leave up here. These are your beach towels that you can take with you. You do want to bring them back and leave them in the room, or they will charge you, and it is steep. This is nice. This is like leather background back here. That's different. And then you have a TV, and the TV is updated. It's a flat screen TV. The last time I was on a Solstice Class ship was the Eclipse. And that TV was, it was thick. It was a chunky boy. But this one's thinner. You can see here our itinerary there, Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Key West and then to Bimini, not going very far at all. There's some things left here in the room. These waters here, do not drink them unless you want to pay extra. You will have to pay for those, as well as anything in the mini bar. All these things that they tempt you with down here, you'll have to pay extra for those, including if you have a drink package. So don't be fooled and think I have a drink package. I can drink drinks out of my mini fridge, because you will be charged, believe me. And then there's a safe in here too, where you can leave things. You have like a little jewelry holder to store jewelry, keys, things like that you want to put in the safe. Of course, the Celebrity Today, which details all the events that are going on, all the things happening around the ship. It's all detailed right here. And I do have premium access, as I mentioned. Let me cut the TV off. That can be annoying. So this is telling you everything that's included in premium access. Premium Wi-Fi for 2 devices per person. Unlimited complimentary room service. Now that room service charge is usually $9.95 plus an 18% service charge. So there's a savings there. A welcome lunch in the main dining room, served from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Well, folks, we just missed that by about 25 minutes. So that's unfortunate. You also get priority departure from the ship to shore in ports that require tender service, reserved seating at shows in the theater, and express luggage service the morning of departing your cruise. And this is saying that reserved seating in the theater, deck 4, is on the front row right side, and then you can connect to the Wi-Fi seamlessly, which we're about to do, via the Celebrity Cruises app. So, I wanted to take advantage of the priority boarding. I mean, that's one of the perks of this, of course. You can get on the ship faster than everyone else other than folks in the retreat. But I also wanted to take advantage of the lunch, but didn't quite make it for that. But that's premium access. I booked it because it was actually cheaper, I think, around the same price. It was $29.99 per day. And it's just me, so that equated times 3. That was like $90 that I paid for it for this 3-day cruise. And you get all these included benefits. But I booked it mainly for that Wi-Fi benefit, because Wi-Fi for 2 devices, I think the price was double for that. What I could, if I just wanted to book the Wi-Fi separately, like by itself, that was double the price of what the premium access was. So it was actually a really good deal just getting the premium Wi-Fi alone. So on my phone here, I've pulled up my settings on my iPhone, and I'm going to go to Wi-Fi guest silhouette and wait till that has joined. And once, yep, that's joined, I'm now going to go over to the Celebrity app. It's being very slow. Oh, there we go. We want to join. And then it's going to show me almost there, loading, almost there, loading. See internet packages. So if you didn't have a package, you can purchase those from the app here, but it should pop up that we already have one. So hopefully it's about to do that. There we go. It's showing that I am now connected. It automatically connected. It shows I have 1 of 2 devices being used. So you can share an internet code. So you can click that and it'll actually tell you an internet code that you can put in on your other devices to join very seamlessly. I used this a few months ago when I was selling on Eclipse. So that makes it very easy. Now, normally, if today were a normal cruise day for me, which it's anything but because of all the aforementioned things, me being late, all that stuff, I would have gone to guest services first thing to see what an upgrade might look like. But I doubt that there are any upgrades available. And honestly, the line at guest services is probably so long right now. Just everybody down there getting on the ship going right to guest services. So I don't even think I'm going to bother. Maybe I'll do a drive-by and see how many people are at guest services. And if the line's not long, maybe I'll ask just for fun to see what an upgrade might be like. But like I said, we're trying to be better about money and trying to spend less on cruises. And follow me for more tips, seriously. Because I love to travel as cheap as I can and book the cheapest cruises that I can. Sometimes you might be scratching your head and thinking, we watch your videos. You absolutely do not. But I promise, I do try to be thrifty when it comes to booking cruises. And cruises have gotten quite expensive in the past year or so. because a lot more people are cruising, a lot more folks are creating, you know, content on social media and YouTube, and that's inspiring a lot of people to go on cruises. So yeah, it's just expensive. So I'm trying to do things cheap, but I might run by there just for kicks and giggles, just to see, you know, what it might be like to upgrade to a balcony. Who knows? But yeah, at any rate, I'm going to get out of this room and go check out some of the celebrity silhouette, and of course, I'm going to take you along with me. So I did just go check because the line wasn't that long at guest services, and they said completely full sailing, no upgrades available now, but to check back after 5. But let's step out onto the open deck, deck 14, one of the main decks here on the ship. We're just the deck up above the main pool deck, which we'll see is right here down below us. Not a lot of folks hanging out at the pool deck with it cooler. It's actually, that's one thing I haven't mentioned yet, is the temperature. It is a chilly, let's see what the current temperature is. It's only like 64 degrees today here in Port Everglades. Quite chilly for Florida. So you see a lot of folks, including me, that's why I have my hoodie on, but folks with jackets and warmer clothes on. Can't see down there though, the pool bar is loaded, no pun intended. A lot of people getting their first drinks of the cruise on down there. And then up here you can see the mass grill right here, where you can get hamburgers, hot dogs, fries. That's one of the reasons I was excited about that welcome lunch for premium access too, because other than eating at the buffet or maybe at mass grill, unless you are part of the retreat and get to go to Lumine, there's not a lot of like sit down options. In fact, there are no like table service sit down options for guests on embarkation day. You do have to go to either the buffet or to mass grill. But do know if you do want sit down service, you do need to have a welcome lunch. And that welcome lunch is not just for premium access guests, but also concierge guests, I think too. I think they loop those all in together. So just know that. I did just come up here to deck 15. And one of the changes, one of the differentiating changes to Silhouette over some of the other ships, I think other than like Equinox maybe, but there is actually a retreat sun deck here on the very top of the ship. This is usually just called the Solstice deck on those other ships, but this is actually a retreat sun deck on Silhouette, and I think that's why a lot of folks like this ship, because if you're doing the retreat experience on the Solstice class and it doesn't have a sun deck, you're really just limited to getting to go to Lumine, which is the exclusive dining for the retreat. And then you also have Michael's Club, which is a club for retreat guests, but they actually have a sun deck here. I think there might be a couple hot tubs here. There's also a bar you can see right back there just for guests of the retreat. And then there are all these loungers that are reserved just for those folks. And this is a key card controlled access. You can see there's a little box right up there. I'm not gonna walk up there any further, but it is, actually I will, just to show you. They might run me out. But you can see right here, you can tap your key card, and if you have access to the retreat, you can get in here and enjoy the sun deck. But it's cool that they do have one of those here on Silhouette. And I have tried the retreat before on Reflection actually, and that was one of my complaints. You pay a lot of money to not have exclusive like areas and exclusive access to places like that. So that's why I keep saying that it's cool that they have a retreat sun deck here. And I'm seeing an extension of that actually here on deck 15. If you turn the camera around here, you can actually walk all the way to the front of the ship here on deck 15. It is key card controlled access because it's also part of the sun deck. So that's different as well. This is a Friday when I'm leaving out. In front of us, we have the Grandeur of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. Just behind that back there is Celebrity Beyond, sister ship of the fleet at least. It's a much different ship, a much newer ship, a much different experience than Solstice Class ship. There's also Liberty of the Seas over there. So quite a few cruise ships here. Back behind Liberty of the Seas was another ship too, and now I can't remember what that was, but I did see it as we were coming in today. So a lot of Royal Caribbean or Royal Caribbean group ships here as well, as all these are that we can see here. I also wanted to remark, because you can see it, I've never actually been to this cruise terminal before. This is cruise terminal 29. You can see it right here. They're still loading in provisions, or at least taking away the carts that they use to load in the provisions. But this is cruise terminal 29. I've never actually been here before. It's my first time cruising out of this one. But you can actually see the Fort Lauderdale airport right over there, not far from the port, but that just shows you how close that airport is to Port Everglades. And I think it's one of the most accessible ports that you can cruise out of because of that. So we're now on deck 15, I think, in the aft of the ship. I'm going to show you something back here, the Lawn Club, but I wanted to show you here the seating here too, because just to show you the revolutionized ship, what that looks like. They do have a little bit more elegant looking seating than some of the other ships that haven't been revolutionized. So they want to make it look more like that. I think revolutionized means, to me, more like the Edge series. Like they want to make it look like the modern Celebrity, what Celebrity's current new aesthetic is. And so you can see some of that reflected by some of the design choices and some of the aesthetic and some of the furnishings, like these chairs. They might need to be updated though, or repainted, because there's a lot of scuffs and stuff on them, but they at least look more modern than what you normally see on the Solstice Class. But we are here on the back of the ship, or in the aft of the ship, I should say, deck 15. This is the Lawn Club back here, and there's a lot to show you and tell you about the Lawn Club if you've never been on a Solstice Class ship. These are on all the Solstice Class ships. It's so cool because the grass you see here is real grass. Like they actually have someone, it's their job to maintain and keep up the grass on this ship, which I think is incredible. The first time I sailed the Equinox was my first Solstice Class ship, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever to see real grass, manicured grass on a cruise ship, right? One of the cool things about Silhouette, and it's true of Reflection also, they're the only two ships that feature a Lawn Club grill. And if you've been on the Edge series ships, you can think of the Lawn Club grill as a predecessor of the rooftop garden grill, because it is an outdoor venue. It is here on the back of the ship, and because it's an outdoor venue, it's a very nice place to eat, especially when it's warmer. It's only, I said it's 64 degrees, it's only 60 degrees actually right now, but you can see it's an open kitchen concept, so you can actually see the kitchen while you're seated over here. It's cool because they actually set up a salad bar over here, and everybody gets access to the salad bar. They have flatbreads, they have burgers, they have steaks, just a ton of different food options like you're not going to get around the ship. So I highly recommend, if you've not eaten at Lawn Club Grill before, that you get on Silhouette, you get on Reflection and eat there. But also another cool thing about the Lawn Club and the real grass out here is that they also have this TV, this big screen TV out here, where they do show sporting events, and I think even some movies throughout the cruise. And time check, it's currently 3:10. We're supposed to sail away at 4. So I see a lot of folks congregating outside already, which is a great idea, getting ready for sail away. We'll have to do the same shortly. But wanted to come all the way back here at the back of the Lawn Club, because I see some other things that are different on the Silhouette from the other Solstice ships. And on those other Solstice ships, this would have been an extension of the Lawn Club. This would have been more grass back here. But because it's been revolutionized, this is more seating. Quite a bit more seating back here. The sunset bar here on the very back of the ship, just behind the Lawn Club, is very busy right now. And of course, it will only get even busier as we get closer to sail away. But just wanted to show you a popular spot here on the ship. And that's pretty much it for the Lawn Club here on Silhouette. A little bit different, and I like it. I like the expanded seating area. Even though it did take away some of our precious grass, what we're really doing on that grass anyway. So yeah, that's it for the Lawn Club. Back down on deck 14 now. This is the home, deck 14 aft is home of the Ocean View Cafe, which is the main buffet here. We'll look at that in a minute, but I did want to say too, they have the menu set up here. There's no one here right now, but if you do want to make specialty dining reservations on embarkation day, they do set that up here at the entrance to Ocean View so that you can do that. But let's walk back here and check out Ocean View Cafe just a bit. And of course, they got pizza options. They always have pizza options. I think the pizza's open until like 12 or 1 in the morning, so always some pizza here. It looks like they may be close to shutting down the buffet itself, but they have all the main food stations out here, a lot of different selections. So now we're going to leave the main pool and walk into the solarium. The solarium is a covered pool area. There's actually a pool in here, there's a hot tub in here, but it is covered, it is climate controlled, so you don't have to worry about it being cold outside because it's always warm in here. And the solarium is adults only for most of the day, but they do have solarium family hours from 5 to 7 each day, so you can bring the kids in here if you would like to. But just know that it is adults only most of the time. And there are 2 hot tubs in here as well, 2 large hot tubs, but I don't want to show them because it's full of people right now. We'll respect people's privacy today. So back on deck 5 now, we're going to enter the Ensemble Lounge because I'm curious to see what this art exhibit looks like. These art exhibits are always different on all the Solstice Class ships, and this one's wild. It's very fruity. There's a lot of grapes, actually. There's grapes on the wall, there's grapes on the floor, or maybe those are apples. Those are grapes, right? Those look like grapes, but on the floor I think these are more apples down here. But at any rate, it's art. And that's one of the cool things Celebrity does on all their ships. They present a lot of art. And it's always unique, some of it very unique. The Ensemble Lounge, as I say every time I cruise on one of these Solstice Class ships, it's kind of the hub of a lot of different things. One of those things being the retreat lounge, and this is different again from those other Solstice Class ships because there's no retreat lounge on those ships. It's just the Michael's Club, which is for guests of the retreat. So cool that they actually have a proper retreat lounge here. There's also a bar. Of course, the bar is like the heart of the Ensemble Lounge. You can see right here. And then here is Murano. Murano is a specialty restaurant, specialty dining. If you wanted to dine at Murano, you certainly could. It's a very good restaurant. I've been there a couple times on a couple of other ships. Not going to eat there this cruise. Not going to do any specialty dining, I don't think, this cruise. But did want to show that it is an option. And then they do have live music in here in the evenings with a band set up. Just take a step out here on deck 5 just to see, and they are now pulling away the gangway. It is 3:49, so I made it by like an hour and a half, basically, of getting left and then pulling away the gangway. But it looks like we will be sailing away soon, as they are pulling this back now and setting up for us to sail away from Port Everglades. So expect that to happen probably within the next 20 minutes or so. Again, just depending on the other traffic here in the channel today. Again, a very busy day with all these ships in port. All right, it's now 5:24 and we're officially moving here on the Silhouette. Celebrity Beyond right there about the middle of your screen. She's left before us, and Grandeur of the Seas, you can see right there, heading out of port as well. So both of those ships left. They were behind us here in the channel, and they have left before us. Freedom of the Seas has also departed as well. But here on deck 5, on the promenade I showed you earlier, as we sail away about 125 nautical miles, so about 150 miles or so to get down to our first port of call tomorrow of Key West. I'm gonna walk to the port side of the ship now to see, check out the port. Ooh, get that heavy blast of cool wind in your face as the door's open there. But see the port of Port Everglades. It's actually raining now too, so yeah, not the best sail away that it can be. I should mention the Beyond is that we just saw heading out for a 10-day Southern Caribbean. So hoping we'll have a better, not that this was a bad terminal that we had over here, it's just old and it's kind of unusual for Port Everglades. So hoping we'll have better port when we come back in on Monday. Maybe we'll get 25 down here, which is Celebrity's very own terminal. They don't share that with anyone, but when one of the newer Ed Sheery ships is in port, they always let those ships, rightfully so, have that port. So since we just sailed away, I thought we'd come out here and check out any type of sail away party. And as you can see, the weather has kept folks away from the pool deck because it is so chilly. And I've heard folks all around the ship complaining about how chilly it is. Again, just like 59 degrees right now. But not much of a sail away party here for this 3-day cruise. As we depart Fort Lauderdale, I'll come across over here and show you. This is always one of my favorite views when you leave Fort Lauderdale and you can see the beach. Also, not a soul on the beach either. So just like the pool deck, not a lot of folks out on this cool, chilly January day. Last time I was sailing out of here was November, and that beach was just full of people waving and enjoying seeing the ship sail away. But not today, not a lot of fanfare as everybody's trying to keep warm here in Florida. But a beautiful sunset sail away too, which is nice. It's just so good to be back on a ship. Good to be on the Celebrity Silhouette. So we'll take one more look here at the main pool deck, deck 14 and deck 12 down below, of course, where the pool is. As the sun sets and as we set sail for Key West and Bimini. Let's take a look at what they're having on the buffet tonight. They have some chicken burritos. Looks like they have some Mexican cuisine going on. They have some chicken mole, some beef gravy with some mashed potatoes here. And then they have a selection of different nachos with different fixings. I love the nachos. These are one of my favorite things that they have. Usually at lunch they have the nachos set up, but glad to see they have it at dinner. They have to try some of this. They also have some chimichanga over here. Right there. Some Mexican rice. And then they have nachos with tomato sauce and cheese right here. So this is like the specialty sort of cuisine of the night is Mexican. The desserts over here, probably similar to what they had for lunch, but we'll take a look at those real quick. They have a chocolate poke cake. They have a dulce de leche cake, a dulce de leche roulade. Then they have all sorts of different peach tart, a cake impossible, and then some cookies down here, it looks like, and some churros. Back here on the back wall is the grilled section. I think this is stuff that they typically have just about every night. They have baked potatoes, they have some chicken fingers, they have some different grilled vegetables, and they have some sauces and gravies. They also have tonight some flank steak, which looks good, some minute steak, and then some grilled chicken breast and grilled fish as well. And then over here they have some hot dogs, some burgers, and then of course all the fixings that go with that, some mushrooms and onions, and then the buns and everything. And then some fruit over here. This is what I should be eating. Maybe it is what I'll be eating. There's also a salad bar up there we didn't get to. They also have Indian selections, which they have anytime the buffet's open, they have the Indian selections. And then they have this section here in the middle, which is like kind of like charcuterie, a lot of meat and cheeses, and then the bread selections as well are right here in the middle. And these right here, these breadsticks, they're paprika breadsticks tonight, but you have to get these. These are so good, as well as this bread here. It's really crispy and it's just really good. I really enjoy that. But other bread selections are here available for you as well. And it's now the next morning. I forgot to do my outro last night, but did want to say after dinner, I went to the comedy show. They had a couple of comedy shows, I think at 7 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. That's the usual time shows here on Celebrity, usually at 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the main theater when they have any of the main stage shows, whether that's a production show or a guest performer like the comedian. So enjoy that. And then I went back to my room and crashed because, you know, it was just a long, stressful day of nearly missing my cruise. So I hope you've enjoyed our embarkation day here on board the Celebrity Silhouette, and I hope that you've learned something from something that I shouldn't have done. You know, I should have, of course, flying the night before. Let this be a lesson learned to all of us. Flying the night before to your cruise, no matter how short it is, because the stress that I endured, like, oh no, I'm going to miss this, was just not worth it. You know, I thought I was going to miss it, then I would have lost money because, you know, there's no getting that money back. Once you miss your cruise, the cruise line's not going to give you your money back. The airlines are not going to reimburse you for your cruise, and it's kind of up in the air whether or not travel insurance would even cover that, right? So just please fly in the night before your cruise, drive in the night before your cruise. Make sure you're there at the port ready to go on embarkation day so you don't end up walking into the port terminal building 5 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it was, before they close boarding. So thank you so much for boarding the Celebrity Silhouette with me, and I hope that you'll come back for the next video. We're actually here in Key West, Florida this morning. I'm about to go out and film a very exciting day here, so make sure you come back next time and see that video. But I want to thank you for watching. Go down below, hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe button if you're new here. We'd love to have you on all of our adventures that we go on, all of our cruise adventures. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.